Today I was going to finish the Deep Blue Sea, which is the green, white, blue commander deck from Murder at Karlov Manor. We have Ongoing Investigation, which is an enchantment for 1 and a blue. Whenever one or more creature you control deals combat damage to a player, investigate. The rules reminder says create a clue token. It's an artifact whiz. Pay 2, sacrifice this artifact, draw a card. And you can also pay 1 and a green, exile target creature card from your graveyard, investigate. You gain 2 life. Whirler Rogue. It's a 2/2 creature, a human rogue artificer for 2 and 2 islands. When Whirler Rogue enters the battlefield, create 2/1/1 colorless Thropter artifact creature tokens with flying. Tap 2 untapped artifacts you control. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. Graf Mole. It's a 2/4 creature, a mole beast for 2 in a forest. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, you gain 3 life. So that's kind of cool, is how many clue tokens this deck seems to make. And, obviously the clues are allowing you to draw cards, so you're getting card advantage while also gaining life, depending on what if you have this on the battlefield or if you have other things for gaining life. Ulvenwald Mysteries. It's an enchantment for 2 in the forest. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, investigate. And whenever you sacrifice a clue, create a 1/1 white human soldier token. Wilderness Reclamation. It's an enchantment for 3 in a forest. At the beginning of your end step, untap all lands you control. So that's pretty good because you can then play stuff on your opponent's turn. I don't remember how much of this stuff has flash, but even if you're just sacrificing a clue on your opponent's turn to draw a card to then untap stuff on your turn, that's pretty good. Wave Sifter. It's a 3/2 creature, an elemental for 3, forest and an island. It has flying. When Wave Sifter enters the battlefield, investigate twice. And it has the rules reminder about what a clue is. It also has Evoke for a forest and an island. You may cast a spell for its Evoke cost. If you do, sacrifice it when it enters the battlefield. So, you're not getting a creature by paying the Evoke cost, but you're getting the enter the battlefield trigger. So it's kind of a trade-off. You pay 2 to essentially get the trigger as if it was an instant sorcery, or by paying the Evoke cost, or you can pay the extra 3 to have the creature and also the trigger. Next we have Arcane Signet, which is pretty much a staple in most commander decks. It's an artifact for 2. You tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Next is Azorius Signet. It's an artifact for 2. You pay 1 and tap to add a plains and a island. Next we have the Simic Signet. which is an artifact for 2. You pay 1 and tap it to add a forest and an island. The Signets are kind of common. They might not be in every commander deck, but they're in a handful of the multicolored ones just to help with mana fixing. You know, don't have the color you need. Soul Ring, pretty much every commander deck these days. It's an artifact for 1. You tap to add 2 colorless. Talisman of Curiosity. It's similar but different to the Signets. It's an artifact for 2. You can tap to add a colorless, or you can tap to add a forest or an island. Talisman of Curiosity deals 1 damage to you. So it has a drawback of if you're tapping for a color, you have damage dealt to you, but damage is, or not damage, life is a resource, so kind of a good and bad. You know, I guess would be situational. Talisman of Progress. It's an artifact for 2. You can tap for 1 colorless, or you can tap to add a plains or a island. Talisman of Progress deals 1 damage to you. Talisman of Unity. It's an artifact for 2. Tap to add a colorless, or tap to add either a forest or a plains. Talisman of Unity deals 1 damage to you. Azorius Chancery. The land Azorius Chancery enters the battlefield tapped. When Azorius Chancery enters the battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand. Tap to add a plains and an island. Magnifying Glass. It's an artifact for 3. Tap to add a colorless mana, or you can pay for and tap Investigate, and it has the rules reminder for what a clue is. Commander Tower, pretty much another staple in most commander decks. It's a land that taps to add 1 mana of any color and your commander's color identity. Krosan Verge. It's a land that enters tap to add a colorless, or you can pay 2, tap, sacrifice Krosan Verge, search your library for a forest card and a plains card, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. So, I mean, you can use it just for colors, so for the number, or you can use it to bring out 2 either basic lands or possibly a land that has the forest or plains card in the land type. Lonely Sandbar. It's a land that enters tapped to add a island or cycling island. You would pay an island, discard this card to draw a card. The cycling potentially helps with, drawing if you don't have anything good in your hand and you don't have a clue to, draw a card. Passive Ancestry. It's a land. Passive Ancestry enters the battlefield tapped. Tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. When this mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander, scry 1. So, I mean, it kind of reminds me of commander tower as far as being one man of your commander's color identity, but also is letting you scry if it shares a creature type. The only difference between this and the commander tower is commander tower doesn't enter tap, so um, might not have access to the mana you need the turn it comes into play, but it situationally has another advantage as far as scrying. Reliquary tower, which usually isn't good in decks that have a lot of draw. It's a land that says you have no maximum hand size and you tap to add one colorless. Seaside Citadel. It's a land. Seaside Citadel enters the battlefield tapped. Tap to add a forest, plains, or island. Secluded Steep. It's a land. Secluded Steep enters the battlefield tapped. Tap to add to plains or cycling plains. Pay a plains, discard this card, draw a card. So kind of like the one that was for the island. Kind of odd that the island one was so far away from the plains one, because the Signet ones, the artifact signets came back to back, and then the talismans were back to back. But that just must be how they put it in the box. Selenia Sanctuary. The land Selena Sanctuary enters the battlefield tapped. When Selena Sanctuary enters the battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand. Tap to add a forest and a plain. So kind of the same thing. They had another one of these. Yeah, the white-blue one was pretty far off from the green-white one, but then the green-white one and green-blue one were back to back for some reason. Simic Gross Chamber. It's a land. Simic Gross Chamber enters the battlefield tapped. When Simic Gross Chamber enters the battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand. Tap to add a forest and a it's a forest and an island. Temple of the False God. It's a land that taps to add 2 colorless. Activate only if you control 5 or more lands. So not a great land to get in your starting hand, but it can be beneficial later in the game when you need that extra mana. And where this has a lot of stuff to generate clues to then pay for those clues to be able to draw cards. A land that can tap for 2 instead of 1 can be helpful. Tranquil Thicket. It's a land. Tranquil Thicket enters the battlefield tapped. Tap to add a forest or cycling forest. Pay a forest, discard this card, draw a card. So again, this one, the forest version of this was kind of far off from the plains one, which was far off from the island one. Kind of odd that they didn't group them all together, but not sure about that. And then we get to the basic lands. So there's a total of 3 plains, uh, 6 islands, and then 5 forests, and then after the basic lands, we had the tokens. So we have a Drake token, which on the back there's a cat token. Then we have a token called Tiny, which is a 2/2 is creature with trample. On the back of Tiny, there's an Eldrazi token that's a 10/10. Then we have the City's Blessing, which reminds you, City's Blessing, once you have earned the favor of the guilds, the power of the guild pack is in your favor. I believe you have to have 10 permanents or something like that on the battlefield to get the City's Blessing for certain cards. On the back of that, there's tokens of 1/1 human soldier. Then where it's this deck has a lot of stuff to make clues. There's a clue token that on the back has a insect token. It's a 1/1 flying death touch. So I don't remember how many cards made that. I think just 1 or 2. We have a Thropter token with a Rhino Warrior on the back. We have another Thropter token, but in this case it's a treasure token on the back. Tap to sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana of any color. Then we have another clue token with a food token on the back. And then we have another Drake token that has Coma's Coil on the back. We have a Spirit token with a Phyrexian Germ on the back. And we have a Tentacle with a Chroma's Coil on the back. And then, like a lot of the precon commander decks, you get an insert that on one side it tells you what you do on your turn, and then on the back, popular Magic formats. So hopefully you found some value in this. Check out the other commander decks related to Karlov Manor. I will link the other 2 videos for the Deep Blue Sea and in the description down below. So hopefully you like this. If you did, consider hitting the like button and sharing it with some other people. Thanks and have a good day.